Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. As you can see, we're once again joined by Mark from Qualatex. Mark, thank you for coming in.
It's great to be here, Greg.
And today, Mark is going to show us how to make this absolutely amazing air-filled design. This is air-filled, but look, it moves like it's full of helium. So, Mark, tell us a little bit about this. I know we were having a conversation last night, and you were talking about how it's the attractiveness of helium balloons.
Well, air-filled's really good because you save the helium cost. But there's something about a helium moving balloon. You can't help but look at a balloon. It attracts everybody. I think whether they articulate that or not, a lot of the reason people get excited about balloons is because they float. I mean, that's one of the properties that make it really exciting.
I guess it's magical, isn't it? Something floating, and you don't really, because I've been around them obviously for years and years and years, I've never really thought about it like that. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting that you said that.
And you can make rhythm in designs, and you can make movement, and that's all great. But actually, to have actual movement, I thought would be cool to try and achieve.
I love it, love it. So how do we do it?
Okay, so to do this, key component, I've covered a cake board with one of our new chrome foil balloons in purple.
There is a BMTV, Balloon Basics, on how to do exactly that.
And the other key component to this, to make it all work, is this floristry aluminium wire. And it comes in different reel sizes and different thicknesses, but it's not the arch style aluminium. Even though it's fairly thick, it's very, very malleable and very easy to bend with your hands.
We've been really impressed with it for this sort of stuff. It's great.
Yeah. So so what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to the cake board, and we're just going to use some of our stretchy tape to tape over there on the underside. So if we turn this upside down,
want me to hold anything?
Yeah, that'd be great if you could just hold that there, and we'll just start to work our way around.
Okay.
So I just need to move it to the outs, as far on the outside as you can. There we go.
Like that.
Obviously, we don't want to tape over to the other side. I don't know whether we can see that okay, and if possible, get some tape actually onto the board itself, because the balloon that's underneath is only taped on using the balloon bond.
Balloon bond, yeah. Oh.
So we'll just use a few of these around here. You can spend a bit more time if you want.
And how many would you suggest?
I think at least 4. I'm going to use at least 5, I think, on this one, and get a little bit on there. But you want to make sure that this is secure, because this is going to form your weight of the design. But it's also it's the bit that touches the base and the ground as well. So I'm just going to tape a piece onto there. Now, I won't worry too much if the wire isn't 100% flat, because it's so malleable. We can flatten that out as we go.
Can you just pull a bit more on like that and just...
Yeah. We want to go all the way around, because it needs to be flat. So you want, this is where it'll actually rest, and if you want the design not to topple around or be topsy-turvy, then you've got to tape it all the way around here. Now the last bit, it's going to overlap slightly and then come up to the other side, and that'll be our last attachment point to the board there.
Okay.
And then we can flip them over. So at that point there, you can start to move the curl out and move it to where you want to be, and you could use that for any design. I mean, we're using Spaceman now. We've got lots of new on-trend foil shapes, and it can be used for all of them.
So you just play with that until you're happy with...
So you want to make sure that this meets your needs, but you might be better at this point actually attaching your foil, and then you can move it afterwards, because you want to find the balancing point
Yeah, okay. Well, there's one I prepared over.
Fantastic. So this is just air-filled with a hand pump. So I'm just going to use a bit of balloon bond on the tab at the bottom. I want to fold this up, but I want to fold it up so it covers the barcode size.
All right, okay.
I'm just going to drop that on there. I've become such a fan of balloon bond. The more I use it and get used to the properties and how it works, the more I think it's just great. And being in these small strips now is fantastic.
Yeah.
There we go. That's up out the way.
Very neat.
So I'm going to actually attach this to the design down the seam there, because it's a safe place, and it's going to be fairly invisible mechanics wise.
Okay.
So we won't have to do a lot of adornment to cover it.
So you're just going to bend.
So I'm going to bend that piece vertical.
Oh, that's very easy to bend, isn't it?
Very, very easy to bend. You might want to make sure when you're taping this off that you've got a little bit of tape covering the end, or that you've filed that down and that's nice. And
is that sharp?
It can be sharp, especially depending on how you cut it off.
Yeah.
It can be very, very sharp. And I just lost the end of our balloon tape here. Much easier when it sticks out through the box. But I want a piece of this stretchy tape that actually covers a decent part of that, to go down the seam. And all we're going to do is we're going to cover this straight on to there. And this is going to be difficult to see, so can I ask you to hold this out that way? Fantastic. We just drop that onto there with a little bit covering the end.
Ah, right, I see.
And then we're going to drop this into the seam of the design there, and then just use the balloon to hold it round, and that will be secure.
So obviously if you that's amazing, that just doing that and that's secure. But obviously different styles of balloons, different designs, you'd have to find different ways of attaching that, but using that, that's great.
So it's really easy to do. We can move him into lots of different positions, but the best bit about that is he's actually a moving design now.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we go back to the main design that I've finished off, you can see what we've done to actually finish that.
Yeah.
So I've just got a little air-filled 4-inch star there in our purple colour. I've used some of our 7-inch chrome to different sizes, pulling in the silvers from the finished design, and a bit of the blue from the top, because that's cool. And then to finish this off...
So you've just used balloon bond for all of these?
That one I believe is stretchy tape, so I've just put a little bit of stretchy tape and wrapped it round.
Yeah.
But all these are actually attached using balloon bond.
Yeah.
And then with our number 4, I've got a piece of balloon bond already attached that side, and one in the corner of the wrist there. And I find the real key to this is having a piece both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all we need to do is just attach that in there, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then that's our finished.
That's fantastic
design.
I love it. I love. I'm going to put this back over here so we can see it. But I just love the fact.
Yeah, the movement's great.
The movement's great, and then that's sticking out. It just seems like it's not supposed to do that. There's something really cool and magical about it.
Just trying to recreate that helium idea.
Yeah.
And although we've spent a little bit of time, there's not a lot of cost of product.
Yeah.
Like you say, the foil balloon at the bottom and the base, actually, we recycled the base.
We did.
From another design. There's no helium in there. There is some time, but actually the finished design as well, I think you can get a much higher perceived value for that than...
I agree. Because people have seen helium balloons, even though people like them, they've seen them before. Yeah. Something like this, you haven't seen, but imagine that in a big hotel hall or something, lot on every single table. It'd just be fantastic. I love it.
The last thing that's important about having it as a centerpiece is you can view this design from 360 degrees. So it doesn't matter where you're sitting on a table or which way you look at it, it's a design from every angle, which I think is also cool.
Yeah. Mark, I love that. As BMTV guest, you get to ask the question of the week, as you know.
I guess I'd like to know if Neil Armstrong was still alive today, how old would he be?
Oh, okay. A factual one. There you go. How old would Neil Armstrong be today if he was still alive? Leave your answers down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Mark, thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.